Kady McDermott's life changed completely exactly 1 year ago when she jetted away to the Love Island villa and came home with a handsome boyfriend in the form of Scott Thomas and a glittering career ahead of her. Fast forward 12 months and the couple are more loved up than ever and getting ready to mark their 1-year anniversary, proving all those critics wrong who predicted their relationship would never last once the cameras stopped trolling. But while their love story began very glamorously, surrounded by TV cameras at a luxury mansion in the Jamaican sunshine, they'll be celebrating their anniversary in a very low-key way. "We haven't got any firm plans yet, but me and Scott just love sitting at home with our dog, Kobe, and chilling," said Kady, when Mirror Celebs caught up with her for a chat this week. "I know it sounds boring, but because we're both so busy it's something we don't get to do very often. So we might just stay in and sit in front of the TV. That doesn't mean the romance has gone after a year together, however." Kady, 21, assures us that Scott, 28, is still the same old romantic who memorably asked her to make it official by spelling out, "Be my GF," in towels next to their Love Island swimming pool. "That was so sweet," recalls Kady. "He hasn't done any towel gestures in a while actually. But yeah, he is still a little romantic at heart." Kady's publicly joked about wanting a wedding ring from Scott, but she tells us while the couple have discussed marriage, they aren't rushing into anything right now. "It's something we've talked about obviously, but there's no rush at all," she says. "Our relationship was so intense in the villa, so now we're just enjoying chilling at our own pace. I'm quite laid back with stuff like that, and I certainly don't ask him when he's going to put a ring on it. But who knows what will happen in the future." And the fact co-stars Olivia Buckland and Alex Byrne are engaged and Cara de la Hoya is pregnant hasn't put any pressure on Kady and Scott to follow suit. "No, not at all. Fair play to everyone else, but me and Scott are quite happy as we are right now," says Kady. "We live together, which is a big commitment already. And I'm only 21. I'm still a baby myself. There's no rush at all." For now, Kady's got her plate full developing her career. She recently turned her attentions to the health and fitness market, launching her Bikini Plan, which is an online program combining exercise videos and recipes. "For me, I've never been overweight, but I did feel like I wanted to tone up. When I was in Love Island I ate rubbish food and only worked out maybe once. So when I came out I really wanted to get back into a proper routine again," she says. "This plan is something that people can either do at home or in the gym, because I know that sometimes it can be quite intimidating to walk into a gym if you've not been there before." Kady tells us the plan isn't just about looking good in a bikini, it's also focused on helping people become stronger, healthier and more confident. It's called the Bikini Plan because having a goal is so important and can act as motivation, but it's also about maintaining a healthy lifestyle all year round, she explains. The plan is designed to get people into the routine where they can exercise regularly, whether it's at home or at the gym, and know which foods they should be eating, too. Having a healthy diet is such a huge part of being strong and healthy. I'm still learning about that. So I really wanted loads of recipes on the site that people could follow easily at home. And we've just launched a glute guide which focuses on the best exercises to get a peachy bum, which loads of people had been asking me about. It's basically everything that me and my personal trainer Sam Witter do in the gym, but put together in a really easy-to-follow guide. That being said, the star is keen to point out that treat days are important and proving she follows her own rules. Kady isn't shy about posting photos of her yummy treats to Instagram. "Most of the time I make sure I'm eating lots of protein and lots of fruit and veg, but I do have a really sweet tooth. Everyone needs to indulge now and again," she says. It's all about striking a balance between eating well and allowing yourself the odd treat. Otherwise life would be so boring. Of course, there will be inevitable comparisons to another reality star turned health and fitness guru, Lucy Mecklenburg, who launched Results with Lucy after leaving TOE. "I think Lucy is great," enthuses Kady. She's done a fab job with her online fitness. Lots of celebs have some great guides. I just think it's important to choose what fits best with you. Meanwhile, it's unsurprising that, like the rest of us, Kady is glued to the current series of Love Island, which kicked off on ITV2 last week. There have been some grumblings that the show isn't perhaps as authentic as it was during Kady's year, and this year's cast are more aware of the cameras and spotlight than last year's group. But, as Kady points out, it's hard because last year no one really knew what to expect. We couldn't go in with a game plan because we literally had no idea what would happen. The people in this year have the benefit of seeing the last series and have a good idea of what's going on. However, she reckons it would be very hard to keep up an act when you're being filmed all day. I think anyone would struggle being fake when they're on camera 24/7. It's really chilled in there and you totally forget you're on camera sometimes. They all just need to be themselves because if you're not genuine I think people can see straight through it. Kady's been tweeting her thoughts on Love Island during each episode, but says a comment made about Jessica was taken out of context. In a twist during the first episode, Jess was given the power to split up a couple and steal the guy for herself. She chose to break up Dom and Montana, and couple with Dom herself. I do feel sorry for Montana. She totally wears her heart on her sleeve. In the villa 24 hours feels like a week. It's so intense. So I can totally understand why she acted the way she did. I think I'd have been the same to be honest, says Kady. Everyone said I had slated Jessica on Twitter for picking Dom but I just thought it was a bit naughty. She obviously fancied him but Dom told her not to pick him and she did anyway. Saying that, I actually think they're all a good bunch of people and I think Jessica and Dom are much better suited anyway. Hopefully Montana will find herself a nice boy. There's yet to be any major fireworks this year, though. They've only been in the villa for a week, so it means no one has yet come close to eclipsing Kady's famous rant when she was shut away in the hideaway while Scott was sent on a date. That was the worst part of my time on the show by far, recalls Kady. I was locked in a room and there was no aircon and I had to watch Scott go on a date. I think anyone else put in the same position would do the same thing. Life is certainly shiny for Kady with a strong romance and blossoming career, but we had to ask, what else does she want to achieve? I'd love to do something like Strictly. But wouldn't everyone? I'm quite sporty and I did gymnastics as a kid so I guess something involving that would be right up my street, she says. This time last year I was working on a counter at Mac and I used to dread going into work every day. Now I'm so lucky because since Love Island I've made some great partnerships with fashion brands. I've got my own beauty line, and obviously the bikini plan. My main goal has always just been to work hard and do things that I enjoy. Ultimately, I'd love to be in a position where I can look after my mum financially. That's the ultimate dream.